Welcome to the Sales Acceleration Show, and today it's time to talk about the metaverse and sales. What is the impact of the metaverse for sales? How do you do your sales pitches in the metaverse? Do you do any sales pitches? How do you sell a product there? Is it only B2C? It's only B2B? Many questions, and that is why we asked Pieter from Yondr agency to come to the show and enlighten us. Pieter, before we go there, maybe you explain to our viewers, what do you do exactly?
Okay, so hey, welcome. I'm Pieter Van Leugenhagen, co-founder of Yondr. We are an immersive media agency, so we use immersive technology to create emotional connections between brands and target audience, which mainly results in virtual, augmented reality. We are building virtual worlds for many years, but because of Mark Zuckerberg's name change, we all call it metaverses these days and digital experiences in general.
So maybe we take one step back, go to an abstract layer. What's the metaverse for sales? Let's call it more in that context.
Yeah, the metaverse is a 3D version of the internet. So it's the next iteration of the internet. It's not the same as Web3.
So it's not only virtual reality, it's more than that.
It should be multi-accessible, so accessible across different computing platforms, PC, laptop, mobile, tablet.
Yeah.
But of course also VR and AR, and I'm a believer of the most immersive experience to connect and engage with virtual worlds or digital layers on top of the real world. And that's of course through headsets or wearables, VR, AR. But in terms of VR, we're getting there. In terms of AR and wearables, it's still a few years.
So if I'm a company and I'm looking at this and I'm planning my 5 to 10 years roadmap and I'm thinking I'm selling product or service, what do I need to start thinking of, or what do I need to take into account to sell in the future, if you think about it? Because it is a massive opportunity, but nobody really knows what exactly. So do you have some guidance, some ideas?
My first advice is always start with experimentation today, because it's happening, and it's happening fast, especially towards the younger generation.
Let me land the plane there.
Yeah.
But with what?
Yeah, so we have two directions. The first one is what can you sell of your current product or service offering using metaverse experiences, and secondly,
so hang on. I'm going to stop you there. Then we go to the second one. So you said the word experience. So the experience is important. It's about feeling. It's about seeing. It's about experience.
Yeah, and about being in the experience instead of looking at it. And how can you leverage it today, depending on the target audience that you're approaching. But today we are doing, as a sales, I'm a salesperson myself, I'm doing most of my business virtually, but on 2D flat screens.
Yeah.
In the future, it will be much more immersive. And we are working on that as well already. But for some businesses, it's happening much faster than for others.
So one of the examples was, I was at a large bank, one of the top 3 banks in Belgium, and we were talking about VR and it's about sales. And the first thing they say is, yeah, Michael, we're working on it, and what we want to do is we want to have an office on a meta world, And I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking and saying, why would you just copy what you have now and do it there?
Exactly.
Why don't you do it new, or why don't you make a proper experience that change the whole dynamic of this thing?
And go beyond.
And for them, it's like, no, we do it like this. We're going to do the same thing over there. I don't get it. I get really nervous when they tell me that stuff.
Yeah, and the good question is also why. Why do you want to have an office?
Because they have an innovation manager.
Yeah, and of course, experimentation is key.
Yes,
it's very important.
I agree.
But yeah, we saw many global companies opening offices on Web3 metaverse platforms like Decentraland or the Sandbox. Problem is they don't have users. If nobody's going there, it doesn't make any sense. No. Who's the user of metaverse worlds these days? The youngsters.
Yeah.
Between the age of 24.
And those are the last ones that will go to an office.
Yeah, and probably the last one that will buy your product today, although unless you're going B2C, of course.
Yeah.
Within a business-related context, it's maybe...
So you're saying also B2C in the beginning will have way more traction than B2B.
Yeah, and also...
Or the use case for B2B still has to be...
Yeah, if you're want to explore the metaverse in a most immersive way, using headsets or wearables, it's difficult, because if I have a meeting with you, you need to have a headset as well.
Yes.
But one of the basic principles is multi-accessibility, so it could be possible to see you in front of your computer and I'm in my headset. So that should be worked. And how it will be used for sales in the future, it's just a much more immersive experience. I can take you to my company or to my factory and guide you around and do my sales stuff.
I can immediately
instead of using a PowerPoint
I can
presentation.
immediately see it for products and that kind of stuff, or things you build or will build or buildings. But if you sell like services or coaching, or it's going to be more difficult in the beginning.
For coaching and services, it can be much more scalable in the future. Imagine if there is headset adoption widely, or people are in to join a virtual world using their mobile or PC laptop devices. And instead of flying around the world, you can give your coaching sessions in a virtual world, and it works much better than in front of a screen. Believe me, if I give keynote presentations in a virtual world, then I have interaction with my audience because I can see each and every avatar in front of me. If I'm asking a question, somebody else in Iceland or in Norway or in the States is lifting his hand or his arm, and I can point in his direction, and all the other avatars are looking at him. So it's much more engaging and immersive than do it in front of a screen.
I recently did a very large webinar, and it's like literally you're talking to a wall. You have no feeling,
no interaction,
and you're looking out because
no eye contact.
You have a chat. I didn't want to watch it because I would lose my train of thought. So I never thought of that one. That's actually
a very interesting. So you could do a workshop in Copenhagen, for example, in the morning, and do one in New York in the afternoon instead of flying.
But the current problem is the headsets and all of that.
Yeah.
Although we'll
but we are catching up on that.
Yeah.
With Apple, that will release a device this year.
Yeah.
Next year probably their consumer device, and then it will go much faster.
Yeah.
But
the whole AR. Still early, the glass, because that seems such an obvious one. You watch this cup and it tells you,
Of course, and that's the whole idea of the metaverse. If we want to interact or engage with internet experiences today, we are watching at a screen, looking at a screen. Yeah. It's a 2D flat screen and 2D flat experiences. With metaverse experiences, we're going into three-dimensional versions of the internet, which is much more engaging and feels much more human. If I'm turning my head using an AR wearable and something's popping up over there, that works much better than using my phone or my tablet to look through a magic window and then look in that direction. It's stupid, but that's how we use it today, the AR experience or the digital layers on top of the real world.
So let me ask you a more difficult one. I wrote a book about how to tell a sales story. So if we think about sales pitches, right? So currently it's very what I say, it's very... in PowerPoint, I play a lot with the dynamics of an image and the design. If I think about metaverse and I think about doing my sales pitch there, I'm probably thinking I need to have more like experience. I'll start to need different images, different sounds, or am I completely wrong? 3D elements. So the market of 3D elements is actually the place to be.
Yeah, 3D is booming. It's a huge market. Everything is going to be 3D instead of flat images. And that's what the metaverse is all about, the three-dimensionalization. And it gives you the opportunity to give a much more compelling and engaging story, using much more interesting elements to convince your people or take them with you on your journey or by telling your story. And then we still have to touch on the second part of how we can use the metaverse. It's not only for selling products and services in the real world, but it gives a huge opportunity to start selling virtual goods in a virtual world. Yeah. And that's an opportunity for many salespeople to think, because it brings, the metaverse opportunity is huge. It offers spectrum, a window of opportunity for copy, paste, or translate or sell services in the real world through the virtual world. Mm-hmm. But also, if you take a look at virtual merchandising, which is obvious, avatars are booming. The younger generation are growing up with avatars. And they are paying a lot of money for virtual because they want to express themselves. And everybody in the real world now today who cares about profiling, fancy watches, designer shades, or whatever, designer clothing, and they will spend more and more time in the virtual world for business purposes or for entertainment or
they will start moving towards.
They will start buying virtual merchandise as well. And that's one opportunity.
Yeah. Because one of the next questions would be, okay, so I need to build my sales team. So the pitch with the sales teams, hiring and all of that. For me, that seemed one of the best, fastest use cases for the metaverse. Is I need to hire somebody. I want to see them literally. I want to meet them. Is that something they asked you questions, or are you building in? So how is it going? Can I ask a question? Because we're now, right? A lot of the stuff we're talking about 5-10 years time frame. What about now? Are there companies already making these things, or is it still like let's build a use case and let's put an investment against it, or where are we now?
Yeah, most of the budget, of course, coming from innovation managers
Yeah.
and marketing managers.
Yeah.
Because if you are wanted to reach the younger generation, you need to be where their audience, where they are,
Yes.
and that's mostly for Gen A and the younger Gen Z, is in virtual worlds and virtual platforms. Think Roblox, think Fortnite, think Minecraft. They're all there. But then we have a huge opportunity within HR in recruiting and onboarding. We did a huge use case for House of HR, but if you take the use case of Accenture, everybody who starts at Accenture receives a headset for 1 month. They build a virtual world and they organize onboarding sessions in the virtual world. If they do, for example, a session on car policy at 5 p.m. Belgium, CET, then it's 10 or 11 a.m. in New York, so those people could join as well.
Yeah.
If they would do that through a video call, I would log in at 1 before 5, listen to the video call, and then log out at 5:30. Now in a virtual world, I can log in and I can meet my colleagues from New York. Hey, how are you? How did you end up at Accenture? And then we can go together in the conference room and have that very engaging.
Another in the context
session.
of onboarding, I was chatting to the guys from Plate. Maybe you know they do a lot of these training and scenarios. Something happens in a building. There is a fire. Where is the fire extinguisher? And they do the drills via VR, and you have to do the exam via VR, or it doesn't work. And they also
Facility
have
management.
and they say and they'll have it like on a mobile, like a game. But they said that works pretty well. It's fun. But if you do it in VR, it's really different. They said you're really walking through the hallways. You recognize things, and it's completely different.
That's a great example of the multi-accessibility of metaverse.
Really liked it.
Mobile, but also headsets.
Yeah, but again, it's tied to the
case.
platform,
Yeah.
and it's tied to you have to have the headsets and all.
But you can do it also on your mobile. You
Yeah.
said.
You can
so-
completely switch. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So I really liked it. Okay, now we have this part in the show when
Ring the
Michael
bell?
runs out of questions. No, seriously.
It's the moment that we ring the bell.
We ring the. You can ring the bell. Come on. So we have this thing, and of
Bingo.
course, talking about virtual and all the stuff, we can't go without ChatGPT these days. So we asked ChatGPT come up with some really crazy, interesting questions.
Okay.
So. Okay, dear team,
Yes,
Pieter has number 74.
74. Okay, so Pieter, what's the most exciting development in virtual reality technology that you're looking forward to?
I think that's obvious. The iPhone moment for VR headsets or mixed reality headsets.
iPhone moment.
Yeah. So I read early this month on CNBC that Apple will launch during the WWDC conference in, what is it, June?
So you're gonna fly over there.
Spring? They need to invite
I
me.
had this aha moment when I first put on an Oculus Quest,
Yeah.
or Meta Quest these days. I really thought everything will change. The whole gaming thing will change. And I sit with my kids. So we have two now. They play against each other. In the summertime, it doesn't even went outside. They just played with his neighbor in VR. And I said, but why? And he said, it's so much more fun.
You can
The
do.
game with the monkey, you got to tap that one.
yeah.
I get sick from it, but it's me.
Yeah, but that's, if I look back at when we started 8 years ago, the first headset that I put on,
Yeah.
you need to plug it in the electricity, connect it with a high-end PC gaming laptop through HDMI, install the trackers in the room, and then you had your positional tracker.
Yeah.
Now it's all in one device.
Check, yeah.
And then if you look at the prototypes that are leaked from Apple, it's like more like a ski goggle and less of a diving goggle.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. So it's very, this year will be very exciting in terms of hardware launches. We had HTC during CES.
Yeah.
Then we will have Apple Pico from ByteDance/TikTok. We'll have another one. And then Meta as well in the autumn will come up with some new devices. So
And then it's going to be consolidation on the platform. Whoever's
Competitive.
going to have the
And
best.
what-
Yeah, it was better.
And what about Samsung?
Yeah.
If we're talking about the next big computing
Screens.
platform, and Meta is after it, and Apple is after it, and Samsung can't be left behind. So they will do something as well. So it's finally happening.
I'm very curious, and I'm pretty sure if you follow Pieter, his channel, that he's going to make some very interesting articles and things. So do check it out. The name is Yondr. We'll put it in here. Pieter, thanks a lot for coming. Really
Thank
happy.
you.
And I'll meet you in the metaverse.
All right.
You need to watch there. I'll
Bye.
meet you in the metaverse. I'm watching.